Hey, I know I said I was going to upload a video every day of spring break, but I've been kind of busy the past couple of days, so from here on out I should be uploading a video every day. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the rest of the trip, at least the major points of the trip that I can remember. I've got my travel journal with me, so that should help jog my memory on some of the less memorable things, because I wrote everything down up through the 14th. So, okay. So, our first official day in Berlin. After breakfast, which was at 7:30, which is why I had to make sure I got up early every day. I was up at 6:30 on Mondays and Wednesdays because I had class, and 7 o'clock every other day, including weekends, just to make sure I was up in time for free breakfast, because that was actually fantastic. I'll talk about that in another video when I talk about the food. But anyway, what we did on our first day was Professor Robinson, my German language professor, who's the one who actually told me about the trip in the first place and got me involved, took us, well, when I say us, I mean me, my friend Braun, my friend Jessica, my friend Trey, and a few other people on a very long, I'd say about 7-hour walking tour of the city of Berlin. We saw lots of really awesome things. I'll include the few pictures I have from that day at the end of this video. But it was beautiful. I was also really hyped up on caffeine because German coffee is much stronger than American coffee, and I had about 4 cups of it that morning because I couldn't feel the caffeine kicking in until it was too late. And so I was really hyper, and I was also really enthusiastic because I'm in Berlin, and being the German history nerd that I am, I'm in Berlin, really. Anyway, we saw some really cool things. Like, we saw the Opera House that is on Unter den Linden, which was really cool. We saw, of course, the big things like the Brandenburg Gate and the Holocaust Memorial and the Reichstag, and we saw Berlin Cathedral, which was really cool. I made a note to myself that day that I needed to go back there, and I did go back there. Let's see, what day did I go back there? I went back there July 6th, so about a week later. I went back, and that was really cool. We also saw we saw lots of really cool street performers that day. I think that was the day we saw the guy in the top hat as well. We got lunch at an Italian place. We went to Alexanderplatz. We went to Potsdamer Platz. I went to the Sony Center. Right, that's the other thing we did that I didn't write down. We went to the Sony Center, which I didn't find as interesting as I thought I might. Everyone else seemed to really like it, though. But yeah, the first day we didn't do an awful lot, mostly because everyone except me, it seemed, was still kind of jet lagged. I guess my lack of sleep on the plane and the first day we were there kind of helped me not get jet lag. But everyone else was kind of miserable. I was also hyped up on coffee, and my professor, knowing I was hyped up on coffee and knowing that I'm a huge German history freak that I am, when we were going down Unter den Linden, we'd crossed over the bridge, and we were walking down the main street before we got down to where all the trees are, down closer to the Brandenburg Gate. We were waiting at a crosswalk for the light to change, and he was just like, "Hey, Kat, look, who's that?" and pointed down the road at this giant statue, and I'll put a picture of it at the end of the video, but there was just this giant equestrian statue of Frederick the Great, which, as any of you who know me know, is like my favorite person in history, like ever. And me being hyped up on coffee, my brain isn't functioning properly. I start freaking. I'm like, Fritz, oh my god! And it was really embarrassing. And he'd spent the entire trip, not just that day, but the entirety of the whole 33 days that we were there, doing things like that, and it was just annoying. But it was fun. It was a really nice. It was a really nice trip that day, and the weather wasn't exactly great. I mean, it was kind of cloudy, but it was warm. It didn't rain, thankfully. It could have been nicer if it had been sunny. We also get the buildings along Unten Linden kind of cause a bit of a wind tunnel as well, so it did, when we stopped for lunch, it did get kind of a bit chilly because we were eating outside. But it was still really nice. Anyway, that was the first day and the first real trip that I did anything on this whole study abroad program. I'll talk more about other interesting things that happened, like our trip to, or my field trips to Charlottenburg and Checkpoint Charlie and all of the other big things that we did. And the trip to the German History Museum, which that should probably be a video all on its own. Anyway, that's all for now. Bye guys!